Hello. Oh boy. So if you're watching this later, this is week 4 of Wheel of Struggle. Um I am really not sure how well this game translates for general. I already have my layout the way I was thinking about doing. I'm not sure how well this game translates, as there isn't a lot of moment-to-moment decision making compared to a lot of games that I play. A lot of times when I'm playing to talk about my strategy and stuff. And so this one is a little bit outside of what I normally play. I'm not terribly good at it. We were allowed to do a couple exhibition matches to get used to it, but I didn't realize during the exhibition matches that the leagues had set teams. So I had to go back, figure some stuff out. I ended up going with Dustman's team because I feel like his overall stats were pretty solid. A lot of very powerful tacklers. Each robot has different stats, so yeah. Dr. Wily is awesome. He's by far the most powerful character in this game, so this felt like a good way to utilize that. Dustman is very defensive, and has a strong kick. All of the kicking scores are either 62 or 64. I don't know why they bothered putting that stat in if they're not going to have a big difference between it. Run I think it runs from about 25 to 50, with Dr. Wily being the fastest character, and Dustman's kind of on the lower side here. Average seems to be about 40. Tackle tends to be, I think, 48 to about 160, with one exception. So having Dr. Wily at 240 and Airman at 160 are both really solid. And then defensive characters tends to be like one step higher than the tackle scores. So we're at 176 on Dustman, which is really good. 240 on Wily, which is ridiculous. And then Airman's average. So Airman's a little slower than average, but very good at tackling and still pretty defensive. And then Snake Man is kind of our average character. He's right down the middle on most things. But his tackle is a little above average. His defense kick and run are all average. So I feel like this is going to be a pretty solid setup. So Wily can basically just run the ball up pretty easily. Oop. Great. You do get 2 super shots. My goal right now is just to kind of... Okay, they just used their second one. So that's good. Yeah, I don't... It takes Iceman 3 hits to get through Wily. I'm getting slightly mixed up here because I was using Proto Man during my exhibition matches. And it doesn't help that all of the characters are the same color scheme for some reason. Like, I don't know why it decided to do that, but... We'll go ahead and use our super shots just to get them out of the way when we have a chance. I think I need to be shooting from a little further back or something like that. Because it feels like it's just not doing what I want it to do. There's clearly some trick to it, and one of the other people on Wheel of Struggle already put their entry in with like plus 100 points, so I know I'm not going to get first, but I'm okay with that. Quite frankly, I'm not enjoying this game enough to try that hard on it, unless I figure out the trick to it. And then I will gladly just grind it out quick, but the league is going to take like an hour and a half to do, and we get up to 3 attempts. So yeah, it feels like they're not angling the shot as much as I would like them to. Like, I'm holding the diagonal down, and it feels like they're just kind of doing a mediocre job of angling at the goal. Because I want them to... Obviously, you want to be at the bottom side of the goal and aiming at the top side of the goal. So maybe I just need to... Yeah, see, that just went straight in. It's like, why aren't you angling it? The other thing I had tried doing was doing like a high pass and then heading it in, and that feels like it would actually be a good strategy. But I could not get the mechanics to work during exhibition, so it's kind of like I know what I'm trying to do, it's just getting my characters to actually do the thing. We'll go ahead and do our second super shot there, just to get it over with. Maybe I need to just hold the up or down button instead of holding right as well. Doesn't seem to do anything different. Yeah, I clearly need to be adding like another pass or something in, but getting the computer characters into the right position seems like it's also never exactly what you want. Switch which character I was controlling right at the last minute there. What are you doing? The goalies are so bad in this. There's an option to do manual goalies, but we weren't allowed to change any of the options. So the good news is I'm winning. The bad news is I am not winning much. Keeping our team composition. Whoops. I was trying to shoot it, and it for some reason passed to a teammate instead. Okay, let's see if I can. That didn't do what it was supposed to do at all. God, I hate this game. I'm sure I'll figure something out by the time we're done with this league, or I will just meander through and barely get it like we have been. Like, if I can get a win, that's fine. But I'd really like to get some goals that don't involve using the super shot at some point. I know it's doable. I've done it before. I've played this game before. Just has been a very, very long time. Okay. Well, there's one game down. So we won, but we're only at a +1 GG. I feel like this is still the best setup we've got for this team option. Maybe we need to pass it back one more time before it'll work. I'm genuinely not 100% sure how this works. It's also our first appearance of Anchor, who I genuinely don't know what their deal is as far as Mega Man characters go. But Anchor, Proto Man, and Wily are the three like Anchor characters that you get as options depending on which team you're playing as that have above average stats. And Wily's are just better than everybody else's. I feel like Proto Man is also better than Anchor based on the stat lines. Sorry, say, where's Airman? Hey, Mark. Okay, I think it's going to pause for just a second here. Oh, wow. Okay, apparently my chat is not as is not showing very well. Cool. Make this go away so I can actually see. There we go. Sorry about that if you've been here for a little bit. I didn't see until I responded and said, oh, hey, Mark. I wouldn't know anything about sitting and talking to yourself. Now let's get this out of the way. I feel like I'm doing pretty well until I need to actually, you know, score. Scoring is indeed important. It is, in fact, in addition to being how you win the game, one of the metrics for how well you do on the wheel. Yeah, when I saw Z score, I was like, okay. There's clearly some trick to this that I don't know. I remember from being a kid that there was some way to just take advantage of that or to take advantage of some AI quirk and make it work. But I do not remember what it was. And obviously the whole can't looking things up thing is a bit of a detriment on that. I suppose otherwise it'd be real easy for everybody to just figure out the exploit and just do that for whoever does it most efficiently wins, which doesn't sound very fun. Oh, I didn't see Fuchsia and Tater's scores yet. Great. Well, I think I could have just tapped the score or the shoot button again and gotten that, but I didn't. Random game design complaint. The fact that when you change sides, the dots on the map shift colors drives me absolutely crazy. The blue dots are always on the left, so it's not a team thing, even though their team is clearly red. Hey! Okay, okay. It's not... It's not gonna get me to 100 or whatever, but it's more than I've been getting. So we'll take it. That's not what I was trying to do at all. I didn't even push that button. Sometimes I feel like this game just kind of does what it wants, which is weird. Like, there's only 3 buttons that really get used. If I didn't push punt, why did the ball go way up in the air? Rudimentary physics engines? Is that the answer? Okay, I need at least one other person up here. And I was too close, so it didn't bounce right. Come on. Yeah, I'm still not 100%. I'm still figuring out. I feel like the shot automatically just goes kind of towards the goalie for some reason. Like, can be holding down forward and diagonal, or like diagonal forward, and it just yeah. I mean, we're doing better. Barrowman is actually one of the other teams I was considering. Because Barrowman and Toadman are both pretty solid stat lines. And Gemini Man is meh. And we're off to a rough start. Great. Just get that out of the way. I kind of like Dustman's victory pose. It's kind of awesome. Also, Toadman was actually a really surprising one for me, because he's one of those character designs that has kind of a big body to him, so I figured he was going to be more of a defender, but he's actually more aggressive than Pharaohman. Pharaohman's more defensive. Like, Toadman's like faster. Yeah, Toadman is just... I don't know. It's just a neat design. Actually, kind of reminds me of, now that I'm looking at it with, you know, various other experiences I hadn't had before, kind of looks like the, oh, what are they called? The Godskin generals? The... There we go. His robot job is toads. Yes. Oh man. The Brian David Gilbert video about Mega Man bosses, and where they actually go through and explain what all of their jobs are canonically, and it's like, why did they approve this in the budget? It's just so good. Luckily, Feral Man is slow. Okay, we're starting to get a feel for it. So the trick isn't to try and juke the goalie by passing. The trick is shoot on the goal at as much of an angle as you can muster, and then have somebody there to get the recovery. I was literally just thinking, this is gonna be bad, and I was right. Have I used my second? I don't think I've used my second super shot yet. Yeah, if I remember right, I think Toadman's actual job is like completely reasonable, because isn't he like a sewer maintenance robot or something? Exactly. That was my thought, was that his level is a big sewer, so it kind of makes sense. And it's the only thing I can think of. I mean, it even kind of works with his like rain flush power. Just get that out of the way since I hadn't gotten around to it. I reacted the wrong way. That was the rare case of there being too many of my guys near the goal. That's a great example of why did you do what you did? Like, it made the shooting noise. But because my character was in the way, it made it a pass? Same thing again. It's like, don't intercept the ball as it's going towards the goal. Let the goalie get it. Then you can get it when it bounces off them. That's why you're up by the goal. Come on, Dustman. Get it together. I keep feeling like there should be a button to switch which character you're controlling, and I don't think that there is. I remember that in other sports games I've played, which, granted, is not that many, and not that many, especially not that many since, you know, probably since this game was relevant. I had some friends who liked those games though, and we did a. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was a basketball game for the 64 that we did a lot. A good soccer game would indeed have one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, especially with 3 unused buttons on the controller. And one of the buttons that is used is a, just toggles the mini-map on and off. That's not... Let's just get the super shot out of the way. Yeah, Proto Man is really good stat-wise as well. He was the character that I was playing before I realized. So I started in exhibition mode because you get several, or you get to do 3 free exhibition modes to get used to the game. And the first exhibition mode I did was and when I was doing exhibition mode, I didn't realize that the leagues had specific teams. So I was just going off of, like, assuming I was going to be able to make my own team. And was looking at it, and the team I was planning on doing, I didn't know you could do that, Wily isn't in exhibition mode, so that wasn't an option. I was looking at Proto Man, Cut Man, and Needle Man. So I find it interesting that this team has a few of those people on it again. Also, the team that is currently leading the league, because this computer is averaging 3 scores per game instead of the 2 that I am. Man, I'm kind of feeling like, now that I have a better idea of how this works, I don't think I'm going to get it this league by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm starting to notice that so one of my problems that I'm running into is that I'm not recovering the ball fast enough after the goalie dives for it. And my problem seems to be partially that Dustman is slow. He's not that slow comparatively to other characters in the game, but he is still pretty slow. And the thing I'm realizing is, if I had a faster, less beefy character up there, maybe I do need to rearrange my team a little bit. For the time being, what I'm going to try is just having Dustman be the one that I shoot with. Oh, come on. They wasted one, so we actually have a chance. What? Let's just get the second super shot out of the way. Why would you do that to me? Yeah. Why did it stop the timer? Apparently it stops the timer when the goalie has it. Okay. So this is actually what I'm gonna do. Snake is 40, 62. Yeah, that should be fine. So switching up the structure a little bit is going to change where the computer defaults their positioning to, so that the ones we're covering after I shoot are more likely to be Wily and Snake Man. Why? And then as soon as I say that, of course, Dustman's the one that ends up being right there in the middle. Maybe I should have had Snake Man in the middle. If I do another league, I'm definitely switching up to a different team. The other one I was looking at was, as far as leagues go, was Elecman. I just scored a goal without it rebounding. That's the first time that's happened. Let's see if I can hit that sweet spot again, I guess. Not sure where my, team is. Okay. So I don't necessarily think Dustman's secret MVP, but like, because he actually has a higher kick score. There's only a few characters that have a high kick score, and Dustman is one of them. So him being a good shooter makes sense. That's why I had him up front originally. Also, just to be clear, yes, I did make a spreadsheet with all of the Robot Masters with their stats and the different options and the different team layouts, because all of that information was available before the timer starts. Not that there's a timer for this one. Yeah, there's only like 4 characters that have a shoot score above 62. 62, literally every character in the game has a 62 except for like Dustman, Woodman. I don't remember all of them. There were a few. Hey, I play games by prepping. That's what makes me good at games, is prep. If I have an opportunity to do that during this, I'm gonna take it. It was not what I had in mind, but when I asked about using my notes from other games, and your response was, you can make your own notes during the game, I was like, sold. The thing I was not taking into consideration, though, was that the speed score is way more important than the other stats. Like, one of the biggest things I'm noticing here is that it feels very relevant. Like, the defense score seems a lot less important, I guess is what I'm thinking of. Because most of the time when your characters are getting slide tackled, you can straight up just avoid it if you stagger well, and you're faster than them. And your tackle score matters a lot less if you can't catch them. Hey, team composition is something that I spend a lot of time on, usually. And I was being indecisive about which teams I wanted to do. And so I went through and I was like, okay, which teams are best? And ended up with a full spreadsheet. And like I said, I think I'm actually going to be revisiting the options on it after this, because I feel like it is going to be... I feel like there's a better option than this team. Okay, we are playing against Elecman's team, which is one of the other ones with Wily on it, which makes me slightly nervous. Yeah, plus I'm feeling a lot better now that I'm starting to get the feel for it a little bit. I am curious to see how many people stick with it long enough to get a good run. If 3 or 4 people end up... Basically, if I can... I think Z's original strategy that they mentioned was to do relatively well and then see what other people's scores were before they did their second or third seasons. And that's kind of where I'm at as well of... I don't think I'm going to get close to those first 3, or the 3 in first place. First, second, third. So if I can get to a spot where I'm in a comfortable 4th, I may hold off on doing my second run. There is definitely a sweet spot right there. Yeah, the other reason, or part of it is just time, because, well, there's always more games to play. Although right now I don't actually have a game that I'm in the middle of, which is really weird. Just finished my game for... I have so much backlog recorded now. I've been recording extra backlog so that I can accommodate Wheel of Struggle. Since I'm going to have to be doing Wheel of Struggle weekly, so I can't have a backlog for those ones. Oh my gosh, yes. Since I have to keep up with Wheel of Struggle, I've been doing backlog recordings, and I'm up through like... Ow. I'm up through, I think, mid-September? End of September? Like 2 months out. Mega Man would be a fun one. I haven't played Mega Man in a while, and that's one that I keep meaning to come back to. I think specifically I've had like X2. I've actually never played X3. So that's one that I've been thinking about as well. I've got my I kind of also want to do my go back and play the rest of Nightfire and the rest of actually play Sonic 1 as well. Although I'm currently having a bit of a regret on that because I didn't end up picking the Origins collection. I was going to pick up the Origins collection, and then Kylo was like, "No, play the original." And then I realized that Origins, like after the Steam sale ended, I realized that Origins has the whole you can pick back up like stage select where you left off, which is way better for me. Yeah, 7 is awesome. I've played that. I've played through X1, X2, 7, and Mega Man and Bass before, or Rockman and Forte for the Super Nintendo ones, and all of them are great. I mean, I don't think anybody would be surprised to hear that I like Super Nintendo games. I really like 7 because it has the like interactive stage elements to it, where you can like burn down the forest. I think that's really cool. Oh yeah, man, Rockman and Forte is a great one. Let's get these. Yeah, I feel like I need to actually get around to playing Rockman and Forte at some point on Mega Man mode. So that's the one thing I haven't done with it. I always end up playing on Forte. There's a few of the NES ones I have not played through yet. I've never played all the way through. Okay, there's several that I haven't beaten, but there are more that there's a couple of them that I really haven't played more than a few levels in. 5 is one of them. Where were my defenders? That's bad. You know, 5 for some reason always had the least interesting bosses to me, and so I was just never interested in playing it. Like Charge Man and some of those, I really just don't love the designs on, so it was always like the one I was least interested in. 4, I grew up playing like 2, 3, and 4. 6, I remember at least renting and playing because that was the one that had the character design contest through Nintendo Power, I think. Actually, I guess I don't know if it was actually through Nintendo Power, but I remember reading the article about the character designs on 6, and while it's not like any of the other ones, 6 is still very thematic. Yeah, 4, I remember we never owned it, but my dad and I played a lot of 2 together, and then I played a lot of 3 and 4 later. Two's always a little hard. I love 2, but it's always a little bit hard for me to go back to without the slide. I think there were character designs for the other ones, but 6 is the first time that they had people from the US that were allowed to enter or were able to enter it for the character contest. And that was... I do find it funny that the one that was a contest winner, one of the ones that was a contest winner, is one of the ones that would have been, like, accused of being a cheap redesign. Because it had the, or it was Windman, which totally is just Airman. A less round version of Airman. Have I used both of my super shots? I should make sure. I have. And I suppose I don't know if it was, like if it was specifically Japan only, or if it was just that it was only announced in Japan, so people probably just didn't see it. I could see either way. Japan can be kind of xenophobic like that. The classic, which character am I controlling right now? Right as it switches. I think I need to get a little bit further down on it. Yeah, the fact that I'm figuring out a rhythm to this is definitely making me feel like I'm going to end up doing a second run, which is really unfortunate because I really didn't want to do a second run. But we're definitely getting into it now. The other thing I will say with that, though, is the more you score, the longer it takes to play through one round. Who am I controlling? Oh my god. Pick a character. Because the timer stops in between each of your... like while you're celebrating and stuff. which I'm sure you knew since you submitted this, and that's probably why timer isn't a thing. Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Get on up, it's Mega Man Soccer time. I was just more thinking in general, like, you can't really use the timer for it because if you put a time limit on it, the more you score, the less opportunity you have to actually play through the game. So it's actually like somebody who scores a lot could end up like running out of time faster because they just don't have time to do it, which feels weird. Man, +8 this time. We decided that this is how we'll do it if it comes up on our way out. Yeah. That would be a very different game. Honestly, I kind of like the way it is, though. I mean, I don't think it's as fun because it would be very grindy, which honestly is why I wasn't gonna... That's why I'm streaming it, because I could see it being very grindy. There's not a lot to talk about since every game is kind of the same, which is extremely counterintuitive for the way that I normally do recordings. Like, again, I usually write out a whole thing of notes and pace it out so that I have my time, or so I can kind of spread out what I want to talk about and all this stuff. And having a game that's basically the same idea over and over and over again for the entire course of it is definitely a thing. I'm not sure who you were kicking that to. Yeah, the other problem, or the only problem with doing it with the timer where you have to play defensively is that's even more grindy in a way. It just is grindy in a way that it doesn't make the timer click every time. Yeah, that's a very good way to put it. It's a game that is not it is definitely not a well-designed game. It is a very flawed game. But there are very fun elements to it, and it is a really neat concept that, like, I almost feel like it's kind of, it kind of feels like it's more of a, like, precursor to the, like, it's definitely not in the realm of, like, a real sports game, but it's definitely in the realms of, like, the Mario sports games that we got a lot more of later. No, 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 no. Kind of a precursor to... Is it Mario Strikers? I know there's a Persona Strikers. That was... Wait, no, that's the Muso game. Mario Strikers? Maybe I'm crazy. I've been crazy before. I've been called worse. I don't know sports games. Even Nintendo sports games. Yeah, Mario Strikers, yeah. So yeah, this feels like it is almost like a kind of a precursor to those kind of games that were, you know, I mean, much later. So... If I'd taken that shot right there, Snake Man would have just grabbed it, and that's annoying. Yes. Okay. I was right. Those are both real games. And I was always really confused because before I realized that Persona Strikers was a Muso game, I assumed it was a soccer game. And because I got it mixed up, and I was like, that's really weird that they do a Persona soccer game. And then it came up on the Muso episode of Retro Encounter. And I was like, oh. Because while RPG Fan normally just talks about RPGs, sometimes they talk about RPG-related things instead. And in that case, it was Muso, and they talked about like the Dragon Quest game and the Fire Emblem one. I think there's a Fire Emblem one. Am I making that up? I might be making that up. That is the first time I have gone wide of the goal like that. Why did you pass it to Snake Man? We're trying to shoot a goal. Yeah, I know the other ones are real. I want to say there was at least one other RPG one they were talking about. Maybe they were talking about a theoretical Fire Emblem one. I could see that being a thing too. A good one. Why are my... It feels like my shots aren't as strong anymore for some reason, and I'm not sure what's going on. Like, they're going slow in a weird way. Why were you way up there, Wiley? I need to be very careful about staying on the offense, because one of the things that I could run into at this point is that I don't think they've used their super shots yet. Oh, wow. On cue. Like, if this is where I end, that's fine. If I just need to hold out defensive for 2 minutes, like, I'll keep trying to score, obviously, but the big thing here is just making sure that, like, right now, my score stays positive if they don't score as well. Why would you do that? I pushed the pass button and Wily was right there. Why would you do that? The ball was on the ground and you just jumped up to do a header. You'd really think a game with basically 3 buttons, they would actually do what they were supposed to do more often. Okay, they usually do what they're supposed to do. But, or maybe a better way to put that is they wouldn't do what they weren't supposed to do more often. No, that doesn't make sense. Why? That should do it. 9-0. Doing better. Up to a plus 27 GD, which Mark said earlier he was expecting the max to be around 30, so before people broke the game. I am definitely feeling better now about my performance here. I think I am gonna switch up for Snake Man in the front. Snake Man's just a really good character, it seems like. Okay. So this is actually a really interesting little thing, but I do find it interesting that our finals is Dustman against Skullman, since in Mega Man 4, Dustman's weapon is used to beat Skullman, if I remember correctly. Man. I'm getting random thumb calluses here. Okay. The only thing I can think is we're having a little bit tougher time, but there's a slightly faster goalie. So maybe that's part of why we were able to score so much on those two, since they were very slow goalies. I do still feel like we're hitting a better sweet spot than we were. Almost like when as you play a game, you figure out how to optimize it more. I just wish I could have figured some of this out during the exhibition matches. Because I definitely didn't. All the exhibition matches I tried, I literally didn't. I scored the 2 points, and that's it. Okay. Yeah. That's annoying. Okay, well, it's 2-2, so I guess I just need to hold steady and we'll be okay. It's the last round of the league, so maybe there's a thing where the AI is getting better? Maybe? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's that much better, but it's a little better. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm starting to get a better feeling for this, which of course it's the last round, so I guess I would hope I was. Um, the part of it is that the character direction matters more than the actual facing matters more than what button you. Why are you not doing this? Stupid AI. Just switched which character I was controlling about 4 or 5 times there. Let's take it home. Wily. There we go. Yeah, so one of the things I had been doing previously is I was running left and then like pushing up or down to try and aim the shot. And I don't think you can do that in this game. I feel like what it actually is, I feel like the character facing depends a lot more. So that's why running down this way means it's a lot easier to get that shot, that diagonal shot that I want to do. Yeah. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there again. I think it was a lot less picky when we had a slower goalie to deal with. Yeah, I can definitely see how people could end up. I mean, these last few rounds, I have gotten enough points that I could, if I was doing this the entire time, I could have been, or I could be in contention. Oh man, that makes it worse, doesn't it? If I'm getting enough that it could be in contention, that means that I might actually have a chance at winning. If I have a chance at winning, then I might actually want to do it. Okay. That's unfortunate. I'm still going to complete this one. There is a part of me that really kind of just wants to start over and start my next one at this point. Granted, I've already been going for 2 hours. You're not my teammate. Yeah, that's it. Oh no. Dustman, why are you over there? Whew. Okay. Plus 40. Feels like a pretty good end. I have been going for about 2 hours now. It's 350. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a break here. We'll see if people are available and want to, and if I end up doing another stream for a second season. Honestly, 40 is pretty good. Right now my main thing is, if I do what I just did, I could get plus 10 in each of those rounds. There's 7 rounds, and that'd be 70 by itself. I guess, wait, no, so 7, 13, it'd still only be 91. We'll leave it at 40 for now. Like I was mentioning earlier, there are currently 3 people that are in the 90 plus range. So I think my goal right now is going to be, I'm going to put this in. That's going to put me at 4th place. And I'm going to hope that nobody else grinds out the way that those 3 did. If they do, I'm going to come back and do another round. I've still got 2 more I can do. So that'll be, yeah, that'll work out. Okay. Well, for anyone who is still watching, hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And as always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time. I did, Mark. I did. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough. Also, you have terrible timing. I was literally just signing out. But yeah, I'm gonna wait and see if anybody else gets in that 50 plus range before I do another run. I feel like knowing what I'm aiming for and what I'm capable of feels like a good choice. So, yeah. I may also just get bored and do another one, because why not? Yeah, no, I'll probably be back on in a little bit here. We'll see. Maybe. Anyway, I'll see you next time.